excellent morning to you, Nigerians. You're welcome to AM Chat on MITV. My name is Benjamin Peters. We sincerely apologize for coming very late on the broadcast this morning, but due to some technical and unforeseen circumstances. Well, it's raining cotton dogs in Lagos, very heavy. Ikeja here is something else. And of course, I just want to urge us to drive safely and carefully because at this point in time, of course, the meteorological department here in Lagos have also warned that we should expect more heavy rainfall, and of course that is what is happening now. And we just hope that some of the, as promised, the drainages and canals have been cleared in order to avoid another flood, very devastating flood in Lagos. Of course, in in other parts of the country, Mexico, it's been quite devastating as well in terms of what they tend to see as another form of tsunami, which has destroyed homes and family and even caused deaths in that part of the world. You remember the Hurricane Hammer, which is also in the U.S., has reared its ugly head, and of course they have a issue as well. Well, back home here, there's so much controversy. The southeast, the southern east of the country, there's a lot of agitations. Of course, the Igbo National Council has frowned at the strong presence of the military in that part of the country, and the military has also reacted to say that whatever the situation is, so
your favorite weekly newspaper, The Point.
of course, the military has also reacted to say that there is no any bad intention. The most important thing is to check the high level of criminality in the southeastern part of the country. But whatever the issue is, it's something we're likely going to be looking at this morning. Okay, and we just hope our guests will be here because of the heavy rainfall. We'll just take a short break now, and when we come back, we'll be taking a look at the papers this morning. Just to prepare your mind, we have the Punch, the Nation newspaper. We also have the Point, the Guardian, the Nigerian Tribune, and of course, Business Hallmark. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Your favorite weekly newspaper, The Point, is out again and selling.
All right, so welcome back. We're going to be starting today on the paper review this morning with the Punch newspaper. And of course, it has these screaming headlines. Federal government, states borrow 7.51 trillion naira under Buhari. Of course, it has a rider. Total debt now stands at 19.63 trillion naira. You can get details of these on page 31 of the Punch newspaper. Still on the front page, of course, the pictorial there shows the National Youth Council of Nigeria joined the 3-day prayer and fast program for national unity and security in Abuja. Okay, of course, Buhari travels to United States next week, says presidency. You can get details of that on page 9. Still on the front page of the Punch. We still like to have the Punch back on air so that people can actually understand. Okay, wedding day, gone men, abduct man, fiancé, 5 orders in Ondo on page 5. Bode George, Adiniro may divide PDP BOT over party chair. This you can get on page 8. And Mogaji's plan, protest as Oluwo meets Olubadan. You can get this on page 9. Still on the front page of the Punch, panel begins military officers probe for alleged rights abuses. This you can get on page 8. And we can disclose our allowances, says the Senate. Of course, this is on page 10. And Buhari travels to U.S. next week. We've mentioned that to you. That's it you can get on the front page of the Punch. You remember that the federal government, states, have actually borrowed 7.51 trillion naira under the president. Okay, quickly, we'll take you to the Nation newspaper. Campaign chief Atiku is plotting Buhari's failure. I've been sidelined. Comment draws flack. Ex-VP defends role. Of course, you can also get details of that story on page 4. And a 6-year-old boy, 6-year-old Boko Haram victim, I want to walk again. You can see the young boy's picture there, of course, on a wheelchair. And Ibadan Oba, 63 families heads back at Jumobi for the recent crowning of kings. And federal government loses trillions as stamp duty fee is unremitted. All this on the front page of the Nation. So you can pick up the paper and, of course, check out the details. Fracas around IPOP leader Kanu's home. Of course, talking sport, Raw delighted with Iwobi, Moses Aino on page 39. And my adoption is in order, says Farishe's deputy on page 12. Okay, away now from the Nation. We move you now to the Point newspaper. Abraham suit, I won't beg Tinubu royal fathers to retain my seat, says Governor Akeredolu. It has a rider, royal fathers won't dine with a thief, says Abraham. And deposits, 8 banks lose 239 billion naira as customers opt for treasury bills. And early fatherhood made me do many things to meet family obligations. This is coming from RMD. And talking about the economy, tough economy pushing consumers to cheaper brands, says the MD of Guinness. And Shuaibu, Amodu's children barred from Dad's property. You can get this on the sports page of The Point, page 37. And Oshun 2018, Omishora's name can't win any election, says his ex-spokesman. And TB Joshua is set to float university in Ondo. All this you can get. Of course, check out page 13 for that story. All this on the Point newspaper. Away now from the Point newspaper, we'll take you to The Guardian, which has quite an interesting story, very disturbing as well. Poor electricity supply may persist as discos reject 1,000 megawatts daily. Over 8,391.06 megawatts lost in 8 days. The pictorial there shows, of course, the Aquaba exhibition. This was also something that happened in Abuja as well, Lagos. Okay, if you look at the front page of The Guardian again, fresh pressure on Nigeria over oil production cut as OPEC meets. And consult students in future before downing tools, Nance tells ASU. A restructuring will right the wrongs in Nigeria, says Igbenedion. All this on the front page of the Guardian newspaper. Okay, we now bring you the Nigerian Tribune. Nigerian Tribune, IPOB members, soldiers clash at Nnamdi Kanu's home. It has 3 riders. Nigerian army made attempt to kill me, says Kanu. Kanu was neither targeted nor arrested. Police. IPOB members blocked our movement army. Page 4 of the Nigerian Tribune. A white federal government approved rail line for Daura. This is coming from the Minister of Transport, Amechi himself. And couple, best man, bridesmaid kidnapped on engagement day, on page 9. And Dangote-led presidential flood committee donate 250 million naira to Benue victims. You can get that on page 29. And death toll in Borno cholera outbreak hits 35 on page 7. Ecological Fund, Nigerians should demand accountability from governors, says presidency. And Arik Air shareholder sue federal government Ethiopian airline for 20 billion naira. Check out details of that story on page 11. And Buhari's government, you can get this on the lower part of the Nigerian Tribune. Buhari's government more corrupt than Jonathan's, says the PDP. Only EFCC can provide facts. Presidency reacts. PDP has not learned from past mistakes. Odua comments. A new PDP national chairman will emerge through consensus, says Benga Daniel. And my advice to PDP, Maruna, outgoing Oyo coordinator. You can get all this on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune. Away now from the Tribune, we'll take you to the independent newspaper. Why Buhari can't fire Aisha Al-Hassan. That's at the upper part of the paper. But the major headline there, 3 killed as army storms Kanu's home. I don't believe Nigeria is out of recession, says Wike, as the governor of Rivers State. And 2,966 air travelers' luggage missing in 6 months. Passenger traffic drops by 31%. And Arik Air, ex-director, slammed 20 billion naira suit on FG Ethiopian Airlines. All this you can get. And Shell signs $300 million gas deal with local firm. Details of these you can get on page 5. The picture there shows a tree toppled onto a pickup truck after being knocked down by the high winds in Miami on Sunday. Okay, finally, this morning on our paper review is Business Allmark. And of course, it has these screaming headlines, How Nigeria is Shared, Buhari versus Jonathan. And of course, economy searches for growth as recovery remains fragile. Okay, that's it on the paper review this morning. Thanks for watching. You do care to pick up one of these papers and get details as expected. Okay, when we return, of course, well, you know, in this time, the media, and of course, especially the electronic media, were very selective and very careful about the subject matter, which, of course, is brought to the front burner for discussion. But again, developments in the country, especially the latest development, the Igbo National Council on Sunday told the Chief of Army Staff, they gave him a 21-day ultimatum to withdraw the military from the southeast region. But the argument of the military is that this is for basically to check criminality, kidnapping, assassinations, and other forms of crime. But some people have argued that instead of sending the military, why don't you send the police? Well, this is going to be our subject matter. Should it be the military or the police? Okay, so we'll be right back after this time out. Stay tuned.
The university system of education in Nigeria is indeed in difficult situation. From the assessment of public universities in the country embarked upon by the federal government, it was revealed that public universities in the country have not been able to compete with their counterparts in the world due to manpower and infrastructural problems. It is a known fact that a steady decline in the quality of infrastructures like lecture rooms, laboratories, libraries, hostels, and staff and non-teaching staff quarters. There is also deficit in high-quality lectures, such as seasoned professors as well as doctorate degree holders. In effect, many universities in the country today now rely on the services of visiting professors. This is a terrible state of Nigerian universities, an ugly reflection of the overall decadence in the country itself. According to history, it was undisputed fact that the nation started very well on a sound educational foundation at independence by establishing universities that produced quality graduates. The way out of this difficult situation is definitely not to lament about it, but to go back to the drawing board. It entails a return to the established customs upon which the society was originally founded. We have to retrace our steps. The solution to me doesn't lie in building hundreds of universities, but rather to effectively equip and fund the existing ones. It makes more sense to have a few quality universities of global standard than to have universities scattered everywhere without quality. Yes, quality is better than quantity. Planting universities all over the place is one of the major problems facing Nigerian universities. The National Universities Commission, whose duty is to regulate university education, should take a good look at this and act accordingly to salvage this ugly situation. Vocational education is education that prepares people to work in a trade, in a craft, as a technician, or in support roles in professions such as engineering, accountancy, nursing, medicine, architecture, or law. Craft vocations are usually based on manual or practical activities and are traditionally non-academic or related to a specific trade or occupation. Vocational education is sometimes referred to as career education or technical education. Designed to deliver workplace-specific skills and knowledge, vocational education and training covers a wide range of careers and industries, including trade and office work, retail, hospitality, and technology. In Nigeria, the growing problem of unemployment in the country has contributed largely to the worsening problem of poverty among the populace. Unemployment leads to frustration and disillusionment, which may result in crime or drug abuse in the futile attempt to escape from and forget the pains and humiliation of poverty and lack. The problem of unemployment has worsened as millions of school leavers and graduates of tertiary institutions have not secured gainful employment over the years. Unemployment has posed a serious problem not only to the welfare of individuals but also to that of their families. Many able-bodied and highly qualified persons who could not secure gainful employment have remained economically dependent on their parents. This is because they lack the necessary occupational skills to be self-employed and to effectively function in today's world of work. These occupational skills can be provided by technical and vocational education. With the economy being more globalized than ever, it is important to have a background and a skill set that allows graduates to become immersed in the global economy right from graduation. It is important for these students or graduates to have skills in innovation, in technology education and entrepreneurship to be ready to fit into the global marketplace on which today's economy depends on. Leadership is not a major cause of Nigeria's underdeveloped status. Nigeria can become an economic powerhouse and realize its visions only if proper attention is given to education and technological development and promotes and rewards creativity and channel its material and human resources to productive use. our leaders must recognize the relevance of technical and vocational education in national development.
All right, so welcome back. It's still AM Chat, and of course, it's time for us to take a look at our subject matter today. Like we said, it was quite rainy this morning, and it has not, giving way at all. We just want to thank our guests for finding time to come. Mr. Bajimo, thank you, sir.
It's a pleasure.
For coming. He has been drowned in the rain.
It's serious every
Very,
on his house out there. Serious every damn call.
Yeah, serious.
It's God blessing.
Definitely.
But we must heed the call of national call.
National
when
call.
MITV call us.
Of course. We appreciate you, sir. We appreciate you, sir. Thank you for coming. Okay, that's for now. The subject matter we're looking at this morning, we just want to appeal to our viewers. Let's avoid hate speech. Let's look at situations. Let's look at this subject matter very objectively and, of course, discreetly as well. There's been this whole confusion in the Southeast. I call it confusion in the sense that, of course, there's a strong presence of the military in the Southeast, and, of course, the Igbo Council has reacted and given the army 21 days ultimatum to please quit the military from the presence of the military in the Southeast. We know the state of insecurity in the Southeast. The military has also said that, look, it's not we're not turning the Southeast into another war zone. After all, the country is not in war. But because of the high speed of kidnapping, criminality, and all that, there's this divide. Do we actually need the military or the police to check insecurity in the Southeast? Knowing that the military, the police is a paramilitary outfit, while, of course, the military, we know the national obligations of the military as well. So we're just asking this question. So we want you to call in, be very objective in your opinion. We do not want to turn this into another hotbed for name calling, division really. Is the issue on ground, and we felt we need to talk about it. Mr. Bejumo here is a political analyst and also an activist. And of course, I also call him a political, I call him a human rights activist. Of course, we know him for his very straightforward and truthful position on issues. Mr. Bejumo, you're welcome.
It's a pleasure.
To the program. Okay, so that's the question this morning. Mr. Bejumo, looking at, you've quickly gone through some materials. By the way, we're going to be bringing you a soundbite from one of the top military brass who represented Burutai at a recent forum in the country. So you just stand by for that. Now, looking at, because today in the papers, we've seen accusations and counter-accusations over Nnamdi Kanu's home attack and all that. But let's look at it holistically. The Southeast, the argument by the Igbo Council is that we are not at war, so why should there be strong presence? But there's a divide, really, with social media. Shouldn't there be the responsibility of the police drafted, because the Southeast have the police command. So why can't the police handle, as considering what the military have said? It's because of kidnapping, criminality and all that. So what do you think?
Thank you so much. With the benefit of hindsight, I, Afolabi Bajumo, I was in the South and Southeast last week. I was in Delta State, Anambra State, Imo State, about 4 southeastern states. And to the best of my knowledge, there was no war, and there is no war going on in that particular regions of our nation, Nigeria. So therefore, whatever the situation currently, with the benefit of the hindsight of somebody, my person, my humble self, that have just arrived from southeastern states, and I have not seen any war. In fact, I enjoyed myself to greater moment. There's no war. The essence of military is to protect the territorial integrity and block any issue of war or battle in the country. So for that preamble and prognosis, I want to say it is not the duty of the military now, whether you call it, even look at the name, they said they are launching Operation Python, Dance 2, Operation Python. Do you need Python to go and Python anybody? When there is no war. So, to the best of my knowledge, and in accordance with the provisions of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and necessary laws, relevant laws, police is the paramilitary body that is in charge when there is no war. It is only when you are in a state of war. And even Abia State you are mentioning, I am also very conversant about many areas in Abia State, because I have visited the place several times. You want to call it Umuahi Beku, Kanu's area is Abarauku Ibeku, under Umuahi, the capital of the state. Aba, all these areas are peaceful. So why do you need the military? So I think Tuko Brantai should not go into the extreme when there is no state of war. Where we have state of war is in the Boko Haram territory. How far has he gone in that place? How far has he gone in tackling the issue of bombing all over the place in the northeast? So to me, to the benefit of the hindsight, the south, not just the southeast, we have three regions in the south: the southeast, the south-south, and the southwest, where we are domiciled right here. You understand? The three zones are relatively peaceful. Yes, we have cases of kidnapping. Kidnapping is all over Nigeria, including Abuja. Why don't you go and militarize Abuja? So basically, they should not overheat the polity. We don't need military in this regard. It is the constitutional duty of the police to deal with civil uprising, unrest. I still call it civil uprising and unrest. It has yet not translated into war. So we don't need military. So the issue of military surrounding his house in Afarauku, Ibeku, in Imuahi, Abia State, is wrong. If there's anything to be done, the police should be held responsible for that. So military should not turn the area into war. So military should not turn area that is not warring.
Okay, just to share this with you, the Nigerian Army has actually denied that the newly launched Operation Python Dance 2 in the southeastern part of the country, it's targeted at IPOB members, insisting that the operation is part of efforts to combat criminality in the southern eastern states. And that's the position of Burutai. Of course...
and they should know criminality is not the job of military.
Yeah.
Issue of criminality is the job of the police force.
Meanwhile, the Igbo National Council, INC, this Sunday gave the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tuko Yusuf Burutai, 21 days to withdraw his men from the southeastern region. That's Comrade Chilos got sent. He argued that he said he was going to sue the Nigerian military to the International Criminal Court for genocide against the southeastern region. Of course, there is nothing like that. It said, in view of the above, the group has analyzed the state of the southeast and the Nigerian state and come to a conclusion that the Nigerian state is not at war, which is just something you just said, with the people of the southeast of Nigeria. So the group called on the presidency to withdraw the military arbitrarily deployed to the southeast. Okay, that's the news information we needed to share with you. So you can call us to be part of the program, 080-7454-48324. I'm sure we have a caller on the line. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Yeah, good morning. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. We can hear you. Morning. Go ahead. Good morning. We can hear you. Hello. Okay, I think we have an issue. If you're trying to listen to me, we might not communicate. Just to advise you, once the button is pressed to link you into the studio, just go ahead with your contribution, right?
Yeah.
You don't need to try to listen and all that.
Your name and where you are coming from.
Just tell us your name, where you're calling from. Don't attempt, put off your TV, put off your phone, and listen. Just use your phone to communicate. Because if you have your phone on, if you have your TV on, you can't be able to talk with us. And my voice will be reverberating. So there will be. Yeah, good morning. Go ahead. Okay. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Well, your point is noted. The last caller, what's your reaction?
Yes, it's quite in order. In fact, it's repeating what I've said. If you read the statement again, the statement of the army officer that represented Buratai, he said they were there to contain criminality. Go and check all relevant laws that it has to do with crime and criminality. Specifically, the role of the Nigerian police. So it's not the duty of military. So basically, that's I have told you. With the benefits of hindsight, I came back from that place last week. I'm not a native of that place. I'm a Yoruba man. You can see. So the military should not precipitate war. Are you getting it? And also, even look at the issue of ethno-religious sentiment in this country, and the polity itself is heated up. But when you are now dropping card of war, it will be suicidal and terrible for this nation.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm sure we'll have another caller on the line. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, go ahead. Okay, Chibike, go ahead. Okay. Okay. Okay, thank you very much. I think we're able to get through with this caller. So when you call, do not attempt to try to listen to us. I mean, you have to kill your audio, your TV audio, so you can just communicate. And once we link you into the studio, just go ahead with your contribution. 080-7454-8324. I just want to put my director on the alert we would like to take a soundbite from the top military brass who represented Burutai at an event recently. But before we take that soundbite, we still have another caller. Hello, good morning.
Hello?
Good morning. Yeah, go ahead.
My name is Boris Omegan. I'm from this area.
Okay.
Nigeria is a house that is ordered, and the owner of the house, instead of keep some material state house, was living in the house. Okay, Nigeria has a very big problem. Talk about who can, I'm not trying to bring it down. And I want to tell you that during Jonathan's administration,
Yes.
time wasn't heard. This present government is bringing us back to Jonathan's administration. See, there are issues which this federal government needs to tackle.
Okay.
That ought to be more priority, prioritized, more than IT and the get them to go at the first place.
Okay.
Because if we went about building infrastructure rather than progressive people, you see, there is a international airport in Lagos. There is tell me why you want flying from abroad in 1980 times two than flying to Lagos. Because these people, most of those travelers are coming from the east. Why are you prepared to bring them such things? To constitute all these issues, to centralize all these issues,
Okay.
take that out from them.
All right.
Why don't you bring,
Okay, thank you very much for your comment there. If Mike is ready, we'd like to have that soundbite from the top military brass who represented Burutai at a recent forum to clear the air on this issue. Let's take it now. Okay, if it's not ready, we'll just keep going ahead. Now, Mr. Bajimo, looking at the state of security or the state of insecurity in the southeast, the present administration is trying to make sure, of course, the issue of the hate speech, let's try and make sure that we come together as one country. The argument by some people is that the police might not have the kind of wherewithal, to check any, because of the kind of comments coming from that part of the country. And the whole, you talked about protecting territorial integrity. I think basically the president is very concerned about making sure that this country is kept together. And the police might be compromised. That is why, the military is there.
No, if you want to talk of more compromise, there have been cases of situations where even army were compromised. Even in the worst situation, worst scenario of Boko Haram insurgency, which is even more worse than the IPOB you are talking of. You understand? So you don't, if they themselves do not even know the term to use, because they know they are making incursion into an area that doesn't concern them. That is why the representative of Brutai was saying they want to curb criminality. Then you go and check the law that established Nigerian Army and the law that established Nigerian Police. It is only when the Nigerian Police is facing a situation of declaration of war in any area that is strictly the duty of the military. And even by the provision of our law, if a war come to an extent that even we the civilians may be conscripted into the military to fight the war. But to the best of my knowledge, I told you, I want to give you a very vivid example. Do you know that between Asaba and Onitsha, that is Delta State, and Anambra State, we dropped and we were waiting for the car of our colleague that was coming to pick us. That was around 11 p.m. along Asaba, Onitsha, inside Onitsha. I remember under the military regime, the citizen of that area cannot even stand in that place 11 p.m. You will be robbed, you may be kidnapped, you may be macheted. But alas, just last week, we that doesn't even belong to that area, we are Yorubas, and we are at that place standing, and we keep on saying, in fact, we are even feeling security in this area now, because that portion of Onitsha as at that time, in fact, by 7 p.m., 7 p.m., people have been rushing to go and close down. So in other words, that is to give you the understanding from somebody, my personal self, Afolabi Gbajumo, who just came back from that area last week, that the insecurity they are talking of is just a kind of figment of imagination. The real area where we are facing insecurity, in fact, Burutai village in the northeast, it should go and militarize all those areas. They have been telling us a lot of informations. We have captured, in fact, Zero, Sambisa, they want to turn it into military. Why do we have Sambisa back again? Why do we have the Boko Haram back in Sambisa? So to the best of my knowledge, they are just even glamorizing Nnamdi Kanu. They are glamorizing him. Because by the time you are creating this, you are also further exposing Nigeria to be a nation where we are not truly practicing the so-called democracy. We are not in a military era.
Okay, we have a caller.
So there's no war in that place now.
We have a caller on the line. Hello, good morning. Hello. Hello, good morning. Okay, just to advise you once again, when you call, you need to avoid trying to listen to us. Just kill the audio of your TV, so your television set, so you can communicate with us. Once we release you on air, you can just go ahead and make a comment. We also want to appeal to you that this is not also a forum to begin to slam any office, but let's look at the issue objectively. This subject matter is based on what transpired recently. The Lieutenant Colonel Burutai, who was represented by the Chief of Training Operations, that's Major General David Amadu, noted the operation, talking about Operation Python Dance 2, it became necessary following the high speed of kidnapping, assassinations, and all the crimes being recorded by sister security agencies. When we talk about sister, that means the police and other sister security agencies need more support, really. That is why the military.
The military mentioned sister organization, and by sister organization we are talking of police, we are talking of Directorate of State Security (DSS), we are talking of maybe NSCDC and some other ones. So in other words, have they announced that they are incapacitated? Have they announced to the world that there is war in that zone? They have not. The Commissioner of Police in that place, or even more higher, Inspector General of Police, have not announced that there is war situation in the southeast. You understand? So in other words, military cannot use that. You understand? As an opportunity just to create furthering tension in the country.
Yeah, we'll come back to you. We'll come back to you. We'll have a caller on the line. Hello, good morning. Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hello?
Go ahead, please.
Go ahead.
Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, I'm listening to the program going on the tele.
Okay.
Hello?
Go ahead. What's your comment?
Fine. What I want to contribute is that, to me, the army, the military, is confused. They are confused. Because if actually they want to put Nigeria in order, Boko Haram, there's no criminal as Boko Haram.
Okay.
They are actually killing, raping, and devastating people. Here in the southeast, we don't have such a thing.
Okay.
It is either they are trying to carry out the northern leading agenda, or they want to actually create a situation where they will massacre the Igbos.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Like we said, we need to be very careful with our comments. What we've brought to you this morning, the subject matter, is not all about a massacre or whatever. I think it's more like security issue here. You can be able to put out your argument based on, well, whether, yes, the police has the capacity to withstand a high level of criminality in the southeast, or they actually need the support of the military. So we must be mindful of the comment we make. Okay, we'll just go. If I don't know if my director is right. Yeah.
If you recall vividly,
Yes.
precisely on Wednesday, August 23rd, 2017, me and you were on this platform, MITV, AM Chat, discussing the announcement made by the federal government under President Muhammadu Buhari that the military should crush all insurgency or all terrorism or what have you. And that day, I was giving you the analysis that a note of caution should be given to Mr. President, because we know the kind of institution we have in this country, overzealousness. They may even want to implement the term crush even more than the president that gave them the announcement. So again, I want to caution Mr. President to quickly, as a matter of urgency, as Commander-in-Chief of Armed Forces, not just the President, he is the President and Commander-in-Chief of Armed Forces, CC. So he should quickly withdraw the military from that place.
Okay,
they should go and face the Boko Haram.
Okay, thank you very much.
And police will be detailed.
Okay,
to take up their responsibility against crime.
The subject matter, we're looking at insecurity in the southeast. Do we need the military or the police? That's the subject matter this morning. We'll just go for a short break. When we come back, we'll bring you the soundbite from Major General David Amado at the recent forum. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. Okay, before we go on that break, we will just take another call. Hello, good morning. Hello?
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, you're welcome. Go ahead.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Go ahead, we can hear you.
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Good morning, sir.
Morning, yes.
My name is Chidi.
Okay,
My contribution over there is that I'm supporting this in your you invited.
okay,
There is nothing like insecurity in Southeast.
all right,
If you look at what is happening in Anambra State, you see that Obiano is doing a good trade.
okay,
Even if it's worth 2 million naira here under the bridge, you will come and see it. Nobody will take it. And we are living peaceful.
Okay.
If you go to Ebonyi State, you see that there's nothing like subsidy again like before. The schools, they are in very there's peace in the school system there.
okay,
And now, what we really need, if we plant police or soldiers in northern state, you will see, what you will notice that you are telling southeast people that you are injecting war. They will see as the strangers have come to destroy their city. We hear that insecurity now is not east. They should go there. People are dying, they are mobbing church. Even the northerners, which are Christians, they are killing them. They should come and plant those soldiers there. They not southeast, we don't have anything like insecurity. What we are taking is our right. Let them give us our right. There's something we tell them. They refuse to do it. They should do it. And forget about bringing another war. It's like they want war against themselves.
okay, thank you.
That's my own.
Okay, thank you very much. Well, the last caller there talked about the peaceful state in Anambra and Ebonyi State. And of course, well, she's just trying to justify the argument that there is no need for a military presence in the southeast. Well, we'll just take a break now. When we come back, we just have a few more minutes to wrap up. We'll take a few calls and comment from our guests. Stay. Right, yours. Welcome back. Of course, Mr. Bajimo is here with us. This is a very, very sensitive subject matter, and we're just being careful the way we handle it. And I think Mr. Bajimo has done justice to it. So, if our director is ready, we'd like to listen to Major General David Amadu at a recent forum, of course, where he represented Lieutenant Colonel Burutai. This was of course, explaining the issue concerning the presence of the military in the Southeast. Let's take it now.
This achievement, exercise Eboike 2, has become more expedient due to the mindless assassinations, even in religious places, attacks on security personnel and theft of weapons, kidnappings, armed banditry, and violent agitations by secessionist groups, amongst other crimes that have recently bedeviled the region. The need for troops to be exercised, refreshed, and imbibe the requisite skills to cope with these emerging security challenges within the 82 Division area of responsibility in aid of civil authority necessitates this exercise. Furthermore, in actualizing the Chief of Army Staff vision of having a professionally responsive Nigerian Army in the discharge of its constitutional roles, exercise Eboike 2 becomes highly desirable in conjunction with sister services and other security agencies to ensure success.
Okay, that was Major General David Amodu talking about complementing the efforts of other sister organizations, Mr. Bajimo.
I don't believe in that term. When you say complementing, it has to be a struggle or a counter-insurgency or counter-criminality that is led by the police or possibly back up with DSS. Then if they are incapacitated and they are confused to go further, when they face state of drastic warfare, that is when you need the efforts and the contribution of the Nigerian military, including the Air Force, Army, Air Force, and even the Navy. But the situation on ground right now does not warrant such. Had it been that the high Afolabi Bajuma has not traveled to that place just last week, I wouldn't have been saying it. I am telling you, yes, no insecurity. We were even driving around. I was in Noka, I was in Onisha, I was in Asaba, I was in different parts of Southeast and South. There's no insecurity. So if you say you are getting some intelligence report, where are the intelligence report? At least the best work of countering any criminality or any war intention of anybody is to do intelligence work. And that is why in the police you have the CIDs, you have the intelligence unit called SIB, you have, even in the military, you have the DMI, the Directorate of Military Intelligence, and we still have the Directorate of State Security Services. All these people are supposed to be doing intelligence. If you are doing intelligence, yes, on Kanu, Unamdi, or his IPOP, or even more than anybody. So far, you don't create unnecessary tension and intimidation or victimization. Okay. There is no point in militarizing the whole area. In fact, those who are not, do you know that it's not all the Southeasterners that are involved in IPOP? Quite a number of them do not even believe in them. You understand? And quite a number of them believe in them. You are now precipitating a kind of hunger from those who are not even belonging to them to now want to join them, which is dangerous.
Okay, thank you very much. We have a caller on the line. Good morning. Hello. Hello, good morning. We can hear you. Go ahead. Okay, kindly speak louder. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you very much for your comment there. Of course, the last caller talked about there was a nature saying on sister stations that they are not working together with any. They're strictly whatever, you know. And of course, they also observed hardware, military equipment being moved to the southeast. So it calls for serious concern, really. Of course, our guests have also talked about the fact that to curb any high level of criminality, there must be some synergy between the intelligence units, both the military and, of course, the police, the various DSS. So instead of having strong military presence, we have another caller. We can take this one. Hello, good morning. Hello. Okay, the numbers to call 080-7454-8324. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Go ahead.
My name is
Hello.
I want to talk about the issue of Boko Haram fighting. I have been in this before.
Okay.
2012 from 2016, the Nigerian army had done nothing. And fight Boko Haram and our soldiers died in something thereafter, and the government doesn't take care of soldiers in that place. And I don't even think that Nigerian army will be able to complete that fight because they are not even serious. And they want it to ban politics in South. I don't know what they are doing. I don't know where they are going to this country.
Okay, thank you very much. It's been a wonderful time. The comments generally has been that there is no justification for the strong military presence in the southeast. But for Major General David Amado, representing Burutai at the recent forum, have said that they are there to check the high level of criminality in the southeast. And of course, the Igbo National Council, INC, by the national president, Comrade Chilos Godsent, has given the military 21-day ultimatum to leave the southeast. Now, Bajima, finally, what would be your advice to the president, who is the commander-in-chief of the armed forces? Of course, you've already said maybe the military has been overzealous, maybe like trying to do more than what they were saying. But in order not to heat up the polity at this point, what's the way forward?
Anyway, to Mr. President and CNC, President Muhammadu Buhari, and we are even hearing the news that he will likely travel to the University of America next week. So before he travel, he should sound a note of caution to the military not to militarize Nigeria, because the danger is this, you understand? Because I can see that even among those who have been calling so far now have just been the southeast. Even my own people, the Yorubas are not calling. You see, when you are seeing a pinch on somebody or a zone, and you are saying so far it doesn't concern my soul, I don't want to talk. A time will come that it may concern your soul, because if you don't quickly caution them, they may also come down to Lagos, come down to Ibadan, down to various places and militarize the zone in the name of having. Are we not having kidnapping in Lagos? Are we not having kidnapping in different parts of the country? So that does not warrant yet the overbloated presence of the military. Muhammadu Buhari, who is also the commander-in-chief of the armed forces, to caution them, and they should withdraw. Even before the 21 days, you don't need anybody to tell you that. Before you should know, yes, the work that's supposed to be done, supposed to be the work of intelligence. Intelligence doesn't carry gun. Okay. It's just a civilian approach to gather information, gather fighter information. Police have their intelligence unit. The DSS are predominantly intelligence organization. And in the military also, you have the Directorate of Military Intelligence. So they should work strictly on intelligence across the nation, not just Southeast.
Okay,
so to me, police duty is to counter criminality. It is not the duty of the Nigerian army. They should go and check their law very well and check the constitution that gave them the constitutional power.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Folabik Bajimo. Thank you. Despite the heavy downpour, you were able to make it here. I appreciate you. That's it this morning on AM Chat. We'll be back. Our colleagues will be back tomorrow with another interesting edition. My name is Benjamin Peters, and of course, the general impression here is the military, the paramilitary group should use more of intelligence than having too much strong presence of the military in the southeast. From all of us here, thanks for watching. Have a beautiful day.